For day 3 of our trip in Iceland, we were still based out of Reykjavík and we booked 2 tours for the day. First, a Golden Circle tour, and at night we'd come back for a Northern Lights tour. Starting off with the Golden Circle, we joined our tour bus at the BSI bus terminal and headed out early in the morning. The first stop was Þingvellir. This national park is known for being the gap between 2 tectonic plates, North America on one side and Europe on the other.
And you're going to be standing exactly on the edge of the North American continent. You're going to be looking at the mountains on the other side of this flatland, and those mountains are actually Europe.
Next was Geysir, and this is actually the original one. The English word geyser comes from this exact spot, and every geyser in the world is essentially named after this single hot spring in Iceland.
We need food! I was tempted to touch it. Dude, that's the first thing he said on the tour side. Oh god, it smells so bad. Oh god, that's worse than our bathroom.
The irony is that Geysir itself barely erupts anymore. It's gone quiet over the last century, with the occasional brief comeback after an earthquake. But for the most part, people come here for Strukur, which is the one right next to Geysir and erupts every couple of minutes. The next stop was Gullfoss, which means the Golden Falls. And these are one of Iceland's most famous waterfalls. A path takes you out to the edge where you can look straight down at the waterfall. The waterfall itself drops in 2 stages and turns a corner between them. It ultimately falls into a canyon that's around 70 meters deep. And what I didn't realize until we were there was that all the water comes from a glacier called Langjökull, which is actually the glacier we were going to ride our snowmobiles on right after this stop. And so, for our last stop, the snowmobile tour. But first, we needed to hop on these tank-like buses that would take us deeper into the center of the country, where the true tundra was. The bus goes off-road for roughly an hour, gradually climbing into more and more barren land, until eventually everything goes white. We arrive at Langjökull, the second largest glacier in the country. They provide you gear at the base camp, and then you get an hour on the snowmobiles with the group. 2 people per snowmobile, and you swap halfway. It's hard to describe the scale of it. You're on top of an ice cap with nothing but white in every direction. And it truly felt like we were in the middle of nowhere. The Golden Circle tour then wrapped up and brought us back to Reykjavík, which left us about 90 minutes to eat dinner.
Now we have the way back to Reykjavík. It's going to take about 1 hour and 45 minutes.
At night we headed back to the bus terminal and headed out for the Northern Lights. There's no fixed spot for these sightings. The guide usually picks somewhere each night based on the conditions and where the clouds are. And as Nolan and I knew, there was no guarantee we would be able to see the Northern Lights. But as time went on, gradually, the Northern Lights started to become visible. We spent that night playing around with my camera and long exposure settings, and eventually we were able to figure out some great ways to capture what we were seeing. In person, the experience was pretty breathtaking, watching the lights slowly move and the colors change over the course of the night. It was truly an unforgettable experience. Eventually, we wrapped up and started heading back pretty late, and we would try to get some rest before another early start tomorrow.